And I don't know Mark at all. He was recommended to me by David Sidoti, whom I interviewed in the very first episode of the podcast, all about tracking Bigfoot. And he said,
Yeah.
"Hey, you got to meet my friend Mark." And that's how this connection happened. So I'm pretty excited about this. And we're going to talk about all kinds of ghost stories. But before we get into those, I read your bio and I have a lot of questions just off
It's
of what you sent me. So the first one is it said you're the creator of Hellview Cemetery, a charity haunted house in Central Florida, which was banned by the city of St. Petersburg. So let's
yeah.
start there. What is this house and why did it get banned?
I was a single dad, and I couldn't afford to take my kids to Halloween Horror Nights anymore. We decided to build one, and we wanted to build our own haunted attraction.
That's a
And
good
so,
idea. And
yeah.
and those tickets are expensive.
Oh yeah. If you imagine, a family of three. I had two daughters, and trying to get out there was a nightmare,
Yeah.
literally. So,
Yeah.
so I decided, hey, we'll build our own. And I know how to. I had some experience working in haunted attractions and all that, so I was like, all right, I'll. It's not, it's a little step, but first we started as a display, just a front display, and as these things do, they get bigger and bigger and bigger,
Uh-huh.
and people expect more of you. And then it became, well, we could build a haunted house, and so we did. But the twists on our haunted house and our displays were, we did it all based on local lore and legends,
Hmm.
from the Tampa Bay area mostly. And that was because I thought it'd be cooler than instead of having a werewolf jump out at you, we had the skunk ape jump out at you.
Yeah.
Instead of having a vampire jump out at you, there was this infamous bordello owner in Tampa history named Madame Orr, and she ran the Orr House, which is great name for a bordello, right?
Yeah.
Uh,
You sure it wasn't the O house?
yeah,
It
yeah,
was the
the
Orr
the
house?
Orr House, and but Madame Orr, which I assume is a pseudonym. We did. There was not much history on her except for the fact that Teddy Roosevelt and the Rough Riders went and visited. Well, not
Uh-huh.
Teddy himself, but the Rough Riders did, and some of them didn't come back. So he demanded that it be burned to the ground by the city of Tampa.
Really?
So
Wow.
yeah. So I'm like, so how infamous is this lady? So of course, for our haunted house, we made it from dusk till dawn, and we made her a vampire. And so that's what we would do. We would, what we called Hellview up the legends. We'd spookify them,
I
and
love that.
and
So
we'd post.
why were you condemned or banned?
So what happened is we kept growing. We kept growing, and eventually, we did it all for charity. But eventually, we had 10,000 people a weekend coming through my backyard.
Oh my God.
So yeah,
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 there's some zoning issues or
that's
something, I'm
exact. Well,
sure.
and that was it. We always applied for an event permit and all that, and the mayor always granted it. But then we got a new mayor,
Oh,
and
who didn't
and
like
he
Halloween?
suddenly didn't like the haunted house. He closed the three haunted houses that were in town, and they changed the zoning laws, so we couldn't find a place that actually would let us. So the only thing they would say we
So
could
it's
use
an
was,
actual witch hunt. That's
it
crazy.
really was. It was insane. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they still had all the Christmas light displays that have 10,000 people drive through, and block up traffic for miles. Those are fine, but
Were you slaughtering goats? I don't understand.
no, no, and like I said, it was all for lore and all for charity. We didn't charge admission. Um,
And you're doing Florida history.
yeah, and again, it was we had off duty policemen, we had off duty firefighters, we had
Uh-huh.
hundreds of volunteers. So we were always in code. We even were the only ADA compliant attraction, in Central Florida at the time, because even Horror Nights wasn't at that point.
It sounds
Uh,
like a scene from Footloose, and you had to get, the city
yeah,
council involved so you could dance.
that was
It's
basically so we could spooky
ridiculous.
things. So then in 2015, the new mayor came in and he denied, or 2014 came in and denied our permit.
Ah, and you never
So
got it back.
and we tried. I kept paying the $80 fee to apply for an event permit every year, and
Uh-huh.
I knew it was pointless, but I try every year just out of luck. And I finally stopped after his 8th year as mayor, last year, and I was like, nope, yeah, we're done.
It's a shame. Well, it sounds like it was good while it lasted. I mean, 10,000 people, that's
Oh yeah, and our
impressive.
website was
And that
viral
was per
before we.
weekend. You said like
Yeah.
10,000 per weekend.
Oh,
Yeah, that's a
easy,
lot.
easy. Yeah.
Yeah. And how many weekends did you run that for?
We did 2 weekends a month in October, so we would do the
Wow.
last two
Yeah.
weekends in October.
Wow, that's
And then we would
impressive.
do the Saturday after Halloween, just for the people who worked all the theme parks and worked all the Halloween events, and they still wanted to
Aw,
come see one. We'd let them come see ours.
you
So
see, you were doing a public service there.
Yeah,
Um,
it was a lot of fun.
yeah, I like that. So I read something else in your bio I have questions about.
Okay.
It says that you presently live on the remains of an ancient midden.
Yeah, shell midden.
So, but like I looked up midden and it said it's a dung heap. Is that
Yep.
true or is that
Yeah.